Hi guys, it's Sandra here from Creating Spain and a big hello. Now the reason I have this on my screen at the moment is because I'm recording my iPad and I'm deliberately doing it with my camera so that you can see what I'm doing with my pencil a little more easily. Now today I am using Concepts. That isn't to say it's the only app that you can use to do this. But what I suggest is that you watch the video through, it's not going to be that long, and then look at whatever apps that you have for your iPad or your other tablet and see if they'll do the same thing. Now, what I've got here is an imported image of some text. This is watermelon font, it's a freebie, and I've got it on my Cutter software. But this is not cut lines at the moment, this is simply an image, like a picture. It's not proper text. It's just a JPEG or a PNG, whatever it was I imported, I can't remember. And this is the first layer in the design. So what I'm going to do first of all is to zoom out a little bit so you can actually see a bit more of my iPad. Just shift it. There we go. And what I'm going to do now is tap on the left hand side that says New Layer. And so I've now got a new layer in, and that's the layer I'm going to be working on. But just because I might possibly do something to it, I'm going to lock this old layer. And I can see I've locked it already, so that's fine. So back into my new layer. And all I'm going to do is to trace over this image to get a single line font. Now, single line fonts are great for using pens in your cutting machines, but there are very few of them out there which are free to use. However, if you have certain phrases, certain sentiments that you use a lot, and you would like to make them into a single line, rather than have double lines that go around the outside of the shape, then this is how I would do it. So first of all, I'm going to select a fixed line width pen, and that's that for me. And I'm going to make it a nice bright colour so you can see it. So I think I'll go for a bright pink. That should do the trick. Now at the moment, I have my line width set to this, which is 2.45 millimeters, and it's pretty chunky, but I've got it set to that so you can see it. Now the other thing in this circle here, hopefully you can see, particularly if I zoom in a bit more. Hopefully that's going to show up. Okay, in here I have the top line which shows me the width of the line that I chose. The pink bit there is the type of line that I'm having, so fixed line in this particular case. This circle with the black and the shaded area is the transparency, so it's on full opacity at the moment. And then I have something on the left here which I would class as the wobble factor. That's what I tend to call it. It's line straightening, but I call it the wobble factor. So, okay, let's get back to this. And I'm going to zoom back out just a little bit. There we go. So you can see the top half of my iPad. So I have this, and all I'm going to do is to go over as smoothly as I can, which, considering I'm doing it under the camera, is not that smooth, to be honest. I'm going to put a loop at the top of the L because I quite like little loops at the top of the L. And I'm just tracing the basic form of the letters. Now I'm going to go to my bottom layer and I'm going to hide it using the I on the left of it. So it's no longer showing, and I'm going to go back into my new layer. So this looks decidedly ropey, doesn't it? Because it's rather wobbly. So all I need to do is select it. Now at the moment I have the lasso selection on. There's also a choice on this just to have a tap and select, but I've got it on lasso. And now that I've got it selected, I want to go to my wobble factor and I want to increase the wobble or decrease the wobble factor by straightening. And there you can see that I've smoothed it out considerably. So that will straighten it out enough for me to think, yeah, that's actually quite acceptable. I quite like it. As you can see, it's still rather thick. But here's where Concepts comes in. because not only can I automatically take the line thickness down even after I've drawn it, so I can select the line thickness and I can bring it right down to virtually nothing. Not only can I do that so I can see what it looks like, but because and I'll put it back up so you can see a bit better, but because Concepts has a different way of exporting the SVG, all it's going to do is give you that very thin line. Because where a lot of software will, when you trace it or you export it as an SVG, it's going to give you the outside line and the inside holes, and it's going to look like an actual object. What Concepts does is it gives you that. It just gives you the line. Now, if you want to then import it into your Cutter software and put a pen in your machine, that single line is what you're going to get. So you've effectively got your sentiment in one single line, just as you would if you were sat there writing it with a pen on paper. Now, on the other hand, if you think to yourself, well, actually, I quite like it a bit chunkier and I might want to cut it out, not a problem. All you do is you increase the line width to whatever you want, and you can export it as a PNG, or you can export it as a JPEG, whatever, and you can trace it, and then you will get your outside line. Because the color is going to be completely solid, it makes for an absolutely effortless trace. You won't have any problem. Pick a nice bright color or just do it in black and it will trace absolutely perfectly, and you will then have that to be able to cut out in cardboard if that's what you want. So that's it for today. That is how to get single line sentiments by using your iPad or tablet, and whatever apps are able to do this apart from Concepts. I honestly don't know, but you can experiment and find out. Take care now. Bye bye.